Hi guys, for day 2 of my 12 days of Christmas, we'll be working on this simple rhinestone snowflake accent. And if this is a little too sparkly for you, or if you don't have rhinestones, you could recreate this same pattern with just dots of polish. But if you'd like to see how I did it, just stay tuned. Starting out with clean, dry nails, I'm going to go ahead and apply my base coat. I'm using Ready for Takeoff, which is a peel-off base, and you can use whichever you prefer. Next, I'm going to be applying my base color. I'm using Miss You, My Friend from Colors by Leroux, and I kind of chose that because the color goes with the color of rhinestones that I chose, but you can go with whatever color you prefer. And you may also decide to switch up the color of the rhinestones. So it's really easy to switch this up to whatever colors you like. So there are lots of different ways to do snowflakes. Last year I freehanded a snowflake, and this year I decided to do something a little simpler actually, as long as you have the rhinestones, at least in my opinion. I was considering between these two very similar, simple patterns, and I decided to go with this one just because it's slightly more compact. I think it'll fit on my nail a little bit better. And I decided to just do an accent nail, partly because I didn't want to use a ton of rhinestones on a design that I wasn't going to be wearing for very long. So I'm going to start out with just a little bit of clear polish right in pretty much the center of my nail. I'm using Sally Hansen Invisible. Quick dry top coats are usually not super sticky. And I'm just going to go ahead and use a wet orange stick to start picking up and placing the rhinestones. Finally, I'm going to finish with top coat. As usual, I'm going to be using Sèche Vite, and you can skip the top coat if you want on the rhinestones, if you feel like they're on there really well. But if you do put it on, just be sure to kind of get in all the little nooks and crannies and try not to trap any air bubbles in there. So keep your strokes kind of nice and slow, and just be kind of extra mindful as you're applying it. It will help to keep them on if you're planning to wear this long term. So here's the finished manicure, and I really like the way this turned out. I really like the way this hollow polish goes with the opalescent rhinestones. But if you don't like this color combination, you are completely free to switch it up. I was really close myself to actually going with a plain silver background and clear rhinestones. You could do a dark background, you could do a red or green background, you can use whatever color rhinestones you want to make the snowflakes. And you could also do more snowflakes if you wanted. You could keep them centered on each nail, or depending on where you kind of build the center of the snowflake, you can alternate the placement. If you were to, start the center of the snowflake at the bottom of the nail and just have a few rays coming out, it would be more of a half moon design. You could place it at the tip and do more of a French tip. And I've actually done that in the past on my mosaic snowflake, which I did with sequins. So I'll link that below if you want to check it out and get some more ideas on the placement. But I did also just want to quickly talk about my inspiration for this design. Last year when I did the freehand snowflake, I played a little bit around with making one with a dotting tool. And that idea kind of merged with this ornament, which I thought at first glance was actually made of rhinestones because the background texture is kind of like little lumpy circles. but when I looked at it a little closer, I realized it was just glitter. So this kind of inspired me to use rhinestones, even though it turned out not to be rhinestones. And that's how I came up with this design. So I hope you guys liked it. Definitely let me know down in the comments. Be sure to subscribe if you're not, so that you can be notified for the rest of the series. And as always, thanks for watching.